Uh, uh, yeah, this is the place. Why did Todoroki tell me to be here? I swear. S- At the a week, he's nicer than most people. I'm so confused. What? It's Tod Todoroki doesn't know how to drive. He's in the front seat. He's driving. I'm gonna take a couple steps back. Hey, Midoriya, hop in. I'm gonna take you to Endeavor's agency with me. But I didn't even get. I did forget to look at my papers. Todoroki did say he would take care of it for me. Oh shit. he, he, he screwed me. Okay. Yeah, are you the one actually driving this? No, not at all. You see, this guy is. Hello, young man. I will be your driver to Endeavor's agency. Um, your name? Midoriya Izuku. Izuku Midoriya. I'm so confused right now. But yeah, I'll hop in a car of a stranger. Yeah. Anyways, hi, it's me, Anime We or We Anime, and I'm here to bring you part 4 of What If Deku was. No, what if Deku had an elemental quirk? It sucks having two different Midoriya series at a time. Like, I get so confused. I was about to say what was Law's reincarnation, but that's another what if. Okay, so for the few of you, those of you that watch my What If Asta series, I've came up to my decision. Uh, well, I'm down to the last two. Okay, the last two is what if Asta had time magic, and what if Asta had beast magic. If you don't know what beast magic is, it's Veto's magic. But Asta's not gonna have that like agent power beam Kamehameha. Okay, that Asta blocked in canon. Okay, he's not gonna have that, but he will have his own like stuff. For time magic, we all know what time magic is. So yeah, I feel like I probably should put the dark magic in there as a contender still, since it's so cool, right? But I feel a like I'm gonna be copying Yami. Like I guess Yami could take on a protege, right? I guess he could technically make a mini me. Okay, I guess he could. It's not gonna be his kid. Also, it's not gonna be his kid like at all. I'm also considering not having him use a katana. I really just want him to use a stick until Yami just gives him a katana and teaches him how to use it, or he uses a massive like Buster Sword. That's like my current thing that I really want to do. If I do it, or I have them to use like um, like like Tontos or Wakazashis. Um, right? Those are my current uh like things. Do if I do if I do what if Asta had dark magic? But I will say this: you will most likely see the one of the other two, since I don't want to copy Yami a lot. Right? I try to make my own stuff. Uh, well, sort of. I try to. I'm not gonna say they're very like I have inspiration for a lot of moves from like anime, like other characters with very similar like styles of fighting, not similar styles, but also use like say light magic or like a light power system or or like fire, water, or lightning, wind, earth. Right, I get a lot of my inspiration from other anime characters. Right, but a lot of the things I do make is just purely me. Okay, so I will say this for the beast magic, it will be fully me because there's not a lot of people that use like animals or animal like abilities besides like controlling the animal, right? But for time magic, I guarantee there's a lot of people who you can use time like abilities. Um, but I'm gonna mostly base it off of Julius Novachrono, which is the Wizard King in Black Clover. Right. I'm gonna try to base it off of him and how he uses it, but not really. Right. He makes like spears and domes and whatnot. I'm gonna try to do it my own way. Okay. I don't know. We'll see. I might not even pick one of those two. I might go back to my one of the other ideas. I don't know yet. Okay, it's just purely just random at this point. Okay. Okay. As for my next what if Deku, I still have no clue. Like I'm currently making redoing uh redoing an idea because I didn't like how it was at first. So I'm redoing it. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I do have an idea that I really want that I will be working on next after this one. Right. Um I will say this. The characters that I'm basing this off of is in a new like is in a second season, well, in a new anime basically. Okay, that recently came out. I will say this, it's not Gachikuta, okay? But it is in a new anime and they're a really good fighter. Okay, I will say this. Okay? Okay. I will say that. Okay. And they have glasses. That's the last thing I'm going to say. Okay, about giving hints about my a possible next what if idea. Okay, possible like next what if. Okay, I'm gonna quit giving stuff away. Um, I'm still between what we're gonna do in this one. I really want to do two arcs because I really want to do the well no actually I probably should just do the one and do it how I do it usually. Yeah. Wait, if I do this that way, then next part will be if I do it a 2 arc part today, being with the hero unaliver staying arc, well, the staying arc, right? And then I also do the final exams arc. Next episode will be the forest, right? And then from then it will be, oh god, what's after the forest? What's after the forest? I fully forget what's after the forest. Training camp. Given I know it's the fight in Camino with Alma and All for One going at it again. Right. And then it's time to choose a new number one, which is Endeavor. And then I believe it's, I believe it's the, is it the Shihei Saikai? It might be. Sorry, I haven't looked at arcs in a while, but I'll look at it after this. Depending on what time it is. See, right now it's 4:16 on my end. Don't know what time it is on your end. Okay. Um, by this time, depending on what time it is, and depending how long I take this on, if the Hero Killer arc is an hour, I'm not gonna do the final exams. But if it's like 25 to like 30 minutes, I'll do the final exams. Right. Anyways, let me get a drink of water, and then we can get into it. All right. So, yeah. All right. So, Izuku and Shoto would make it to Endeavor's agency. Okay. As they would enter, Todoroki would get this big applaud, like, "Hey, there he is! There's Shoto." Um, while Izuku would feel very uncomfortable because nobody, they were legit just screaming Todoroki's name, so they know who he is. He is the boss's son, so of course they would know who he is. And then you could hear a guy in the background. Who the hell is this random kid? And Burnin would walk up and say, "Hey, how you two doing? Hi, random kid. Hi, Shoto. Oh, well, technically. Uh, hi everyone. Hey, Shoto. They would all say back. And then he would introduce Izuku to them. Burnin would say, "Well, nice to meet you, kid. The name's Burnin. Hi. Hi. Oh, crap. I dropped my thing." And then the big man would walk out of his office. "Okay. Quit all the yelling. There you two are. Okay. Enough games. It's time to get to work. We'll get you to training. I will say this now. Midoriya, thank you for getting my son to use his fireside. And thank you for coming. Even though we probably won't see each other throughout this thing, besides patrolling, I will give you this one advice. Wait, no, 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 no. He would say the thank you parts, but then stop. And then he would speak up again. It's time for training. Shoto, go get your suit on. Midoriya, stay here. Shoto would go off to go get his hero suit on. Endeavor would look at Midoriya and say, I know what your quirk is. I know how it works. Okay? I'm not going to be able to help with all of your abilities, all of your different parts of your quirk. Okay? I can help with your fire, and that's really it. And your ice. But besides those two, I can't help you. So for trading your other parts, some of my sidekicks here have volunteered to help you. Okay? Now, go get changed and Vernon, bring Midoriya to the training room. All right, sir. As Izuku would go to change, he would realize something, and he would turn around. Where do I go? You, you never gave time to say where I'm supposed to go. Vernon, show him where to go. All right, sir. That's not her voice. Yeah. Yeah. Can you all tell I have fun making these? Um. Anyways, Vernon would show him where he's supposed to change. He would go in. He would come out in his new, his hero suit. The eye on the back, right? As he would walk out, Vernon would be sitting there on a bench across the door. As she would then say, "Took you long enough." Anyways, what the hell? You got a sword? That's so cool! How did it fit in the case? I don't know. Honestly, I didn't have to put anything together. And it also didn't even fit in the case. I had it on my shoulder. It was on my back. Oh, that's what that was. I thought it was your quirk. Anyways, follow me. See, Shoto and Endeavor will be using a separate training room during this time, as I and a couple other sidekicks of Endeavor will help you until Endeavor and Shoto comes in. Uh, Honestly, I'll tell you this now. He's gonna play favorites. I could already tell. Good, you're smart. I'll like you better then. He's gonna teach Shoto Flash Fire Fist. He doesn't want to share his secrets with uh you. Understandable. You're very okay with everything, are you? Yeah, I'm not gonna complain. I completely forgot to look through my recommendation or whatever papers, internship papers. Shoto looked through them for me. Uh, yeah, I just completely forgot to look through them. What? Yeah, I just plain out completely forgot. How do you forget stuff like that? I don't know. It just never came to mind. I was training. Okay? Uh, Shoto looked through him for me and just said, "They're signed it, given." I do not know how he got my signature, like, at all. I don't know how. Like, my signature on that was, like, dead on, so I don't know how I got that, to be honest with you. Shoto did pick up some weird things as a kid. What? Yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm so confused. Oh, you and me both, kid! Slaps him on the back as they would continue on to train. The training would go quite fast for this day. See, the way they were going to do it, the first 2 days would be told as training days, and then for throughout the week they would go patrolling with Endeavor and his sidekicks. Right. So for the first 3 days, well, first 2 days, it was training, and then the first day it would be training in the morning, and then around midday it would be patrolling with Endeavor and his sidekicks. Uh, in his city, right, or in a different like part of it, right, and then it would be around day 4 of the internships when Endeavor and many other heroes would be told to go to Hoshu, and this is where it all happens, right? So they would go to Hoshu. Izuku and Todoroki would be just talking about the training um, that's been happening. Shoto would have been told not to talk about Flash. Well, I mean, he done it anyways. He talked about Flash Fire Fist and how his dad is teaching him how to do it. The things Endeavor taught Izuku was incredible. It helped him so much with his fire. Well, I guess portion his fire ability within his quirk, right? After See, Endeavor looked into his quirk and look how it works. All of his all of his different elements, besides wind, use something in his like body. Like fire is protein, or actually calories would be better sense. Fire is calories. Earth is protein. Water is water. The water in your body it's using, and heat. Yeah, right. Iron or like steel or what he calls silver uses is like calcium, or not calcium, his iron, right? Ice uses his calcium, weirdly. Uh, Gale is what he calls the air one. Uh, Gale used his actual air in his lungs before training with it longer and longer until he could use the air outside of his body to, use, right? The gravity doesn't use anything. I mean, like, it's weird to say that. It just doesn't really use anything unless he, like, uses it to push down a heavier object or, technically lift of the object. It does take a total on his head, like gives him a massive migraine, or his nose will start bleeding, or anything akin to that. Like lifting heavy objects, right? As for lightning, or what he calls lictin, that would be used. his energy, his actual like stamina, his like that. That's what that would use, right? Right. That's what how it would work. How's Quirk would work. Okay. Endeavor taught him how to, well, like what he teaches Todoroki and Bakugo, store up energy uh and then fire, or whatever, you know the uh the store up energy and then fire, that type of deal, or whatever he says in canon. I don't remember. Okay, I don't remember what he actually said, but yeah, you get my point. And then there would be his eyes. He, like I said, Endeavor mostly only knows the fire and ice because that's what he helped Shoto with throughout his younger years, right? And then, yeah, so on and so forth. As Endeavor would help Izuku train, or, well, mostly just give him advice. That's all really Endeavor did for Izuku, besides, like, giving him a place to train. The rest, well, the sidekicks, mostly helped with Izuku on all other fronts, right? He can, even though his water does, like his water or wave, still uses a lot of his, well, uses his water in his body. He can now use it in a way where he can grab, if it's like a moist day or there's a body of water near him, he can control that and then use it instead of him actually using the water in his body. Right. As for his lightning, it just uses less energy now. Fire, um, he burns less calories using it now. Right, he's just lessening a toll on his body after he's using his quirk. Okay, that's what he mostly trains in throughout the, like, him trying to, well, he's tries to train daily, but sometimes that doesn't work for him. That just can't happen, right? So yeah, that's what he's been training for. The fact where he can use these out of body, like outside, without using his body. What I mostly mean is, as you know, how he trained with his wind wind part ability, his wind quirk, with quotations around quirk. Well, training with his wind like portion, okay, he learned how to not use the air in his lungs. He can now use the air outside of his body to do anything, right? So the water is what he mostly trained with the sidekicks, okay? Trying to get the water out of the moisture of the air and using it instead of the water in his body. Okay. That's what he mostly did throughout, well, so far, right? Given so far is such a loose loose words with this arc, to where it's You get my point. Okay, so the heroes would arrive at Hoshu, and the big wave of Nomu would already be there. The heroes that were there would be fighting them. Endeavor would say, Nomus? Nomus? Those things are not Nomus. The Nomu I remember was big and bulky. These things are, I don't, look like, drunk, drunk people, honestly, to be completely honest with you. But that's it. They don't look impressive, honestly. The other ones were way better. That other one was way scarier. So I'm ready when everyone else is. I'm running in. Screw it. He would go. Endeavor would also go. Todoroki as well. They would start fighting. Izuku would unsheath his sword. He's not really using his fork right now. Okay, he's mostly just slice, bab bab. Okay, he's mostly slicing and dicing, my guy. Okay, he would run up to a Nomu after a few he's already taken out. He would, as it would begin to punch at him, he would slice in the middle of his arm, cutting off his fist or like hand. Like he went for the middle. He cut into the middle of the forearm, okay, and then like cleanly sliced it off through the bone and everything. As the other punch would come in from the other side, he'd take his sword, bring it back over to block the punch, as he would then use his fire to, well, on his left hand, and he would like palm, like he would hit the Nomu in the chest, and then fire would erupt, burning it. Okay, it would be taken out, and then he would save a hero by driving his sword through the Nomu's head, right, taking it out. Hey, I recommend you go for the head. As he would continue running, he would pass through multiple other Nomus, slicing through, as they would all turn to him and yell at him. No, not Asta. Um, Midori would say, "Would you all shut up?" As he would light the blade. No, he would extend the blade with his iron, right, and then multiple heads would drop to the floor, right? As Midoriya, the bodies would fall. Midoriya would say, "Man, these things are so much weaker than the other one. Swear, the league needs to step up their game, honestly. We do not need them to step up their game, Midoriya." Hey, that's not my hero name. I'm not saying that as a hero. I'm saying that to Midori Izuku. We do not need them to step up their game. These things are monsters in their own right. No, they're not. We both know that. These things are not strong. Yeah, these ones aren't. But if the one that attacked the USJ was in this capacity, then we're all screwed. I can take care of it. Hey, if the one at the USJ didn't have the regeneration quirk, that thing would have been dead. And I would have been the one to Take it down. Ask Mr. Aizawa about it. Capiche? Ugh, kids these days are cocky. And you aren't? As he would charge his sword with flame, and he would slice and then slice. One vertical, one horizontal. They would go slice thing through multiple Nomu. Lower tier, mid tier, like Nomu. The mid tier would sort of try to like they would they could like handle it better, but the low tier would just get sliced through immediately, just and then erupt in flame and then scream. Right. As for the mid tier Nomu, they would be able to take it, but then like they would be able to take the one, and then the other slash would slice them, like just take them out, just fully through the body. Okay, they can take one, but they can't take two. Okay, so Izuku, noticing how good fire is, man, he knows his stuff. But my sword can't handle the heat like I can. I try to stay away from the whole entire heat thing with my blade, but made a whole entire move about it, but so be it. Anyways, he would bring his sword up to the sky as lightning would be able to spark at the tip, and then throughout the rest of the sword, Izuku would say, Licton, Slicer! As he would bring it down horizontal. Right? Vertical? Vertical is up. Correct? I completely forget like vertical and horizontal uh very much. Like I I'm not proud to admit that vertical and horizontal. Vertical is up and horizontal's sideways, right? Or is it horizontal up and vertical sideways? Vertical like jump, like your vertical jump is like throughout uh like an area. So yeah, it's vertical is side to side and then horizontal's up. I think. I don't remember. Hmm. What the hell? What is that happening? Sorry, I was messing with my teeth. There was something in my teeth. What is that? I don't know. I think it's just a piece of like mouse skin. Why is it green? I haven't ate anything green in like years, dude. I'm joking. I like vegetables. Broccoli's my favorite, with lettuce behind it. Um, then probably carrots. I really like carrots, especially like cooked carrots, like really mushy ones. Because to be blatantly honest with you, even though I have good teeth, I don't like using them. Like I like fully cooked carrots because they're sweet, like weirdly sweet, and then yeah, dude, it's so good. And then probably potatoes, and then like some type of potato, tomato, tomato, uh, and then yeah, I really like potatoes. Like not even like fry. Like I love fries. Fries are probably one of my favorite foods ever. Okay, but like potatoes, like honestly, I'll tell you this. When we have a fire, I grab a potato, put it in foil with some like olive oil, and like uh uh. Let me think. What else do I put? Like salt and pepper. You know what I'm talking about. Sometimes butter too, instead of olive oil or some type of oil. Uh, and then I put like pieces of bacon in it, like in the tin foil. Okay, and then I'll throw it in the fire, and then I'll grab it. I'll what I do, I'll leave the bacon. I don't truly like bacon. Okay, but I'll grab the whole entire potato after it's cooled down and just start eating it. That's like basically like Sasha in I think her name is Sasha in Attack on Titan. I do that. I do one of them numbers. Anyways, so yeah, Izuku would continue on taking out uh, Nomu, then getting a text from Ida? What? It would be coordinates. Like, very close coordinates to where he is. Right? Izuku would start taking out Nomu, like, towards that direction so he has a path. And then he would launch up in the air with his wind part. Launching up in the air, then having his hand full of like fire, his left hand because he's holding his sword with his right. He would just build up that power, and then it would be like a laser, right? He would think, I gotta figure out a name for this, right? Just a laser would come out of his palm of fire, just cutting down Nomu behind him, and then he would carry it through in like a slashing motion with his hand, or like he would bring it up like throughout his hand and just taking out more as he would continue in a direction, landing on the ground, and then he would see Todoroki ahead of him. He would start running towards him with his wind, using it to push himself farther. Todoroki would get to the alleyway first, and then a massive wave of ice would be between, well, Stain and Ida. As Izuku would make it, he would say, Todoroki, what's happening? Shoto, what is happening? I don't know. I don't know. Some guy is attacking Ida though. And then the man that Todoroki is talking about would jump on top of the ice wall pillar thing, spike pillar, as he would then say, So, we have more fakes. Don't you see what I already did to your friends? That's like, don't you see as Todoroki would look over Izuku as well, seeing two heroes down. And then they would see, well, Stain would point towards Ida. Sorry, I can't stop picking at it now. I need a piece of gum and mouse so I can take my mind off of it. Anyways, so yeah, Stain would say, "Don't you see what I already did to your friend? He came here for revenge. That's not how a hero should work. So I took care of him." Izuku would then say to Todoroki in a whisper, "Hey, you get those three out of here. I'll hold them off until you can get back. Or you can get help, it doesn't matter. I'll hold them off until then." What? No, we're not doing that. We have to. Or he's just gonna throw a knife in our back. In one of our backs, and the other one will come to save the other, and then he'll just put his sword through one of our necks. Fine. Then I'll do it. No, he'll just get in front of your face because he's faster. I can at least hold him off in hand-to-hand combat, and plus, then use my quirk. I can also use my quirk, so it doesn't matter. You only focus on your quirk. That's why I gotta do it. Okay. Good point. Fine. Just don't die, or I'll silence you myself. Okay, I won't. Then Izuku would use his wind part on his feet to boost himself at Stain. Sword back to his head, and then he would slice at Stain. Stain would block it. They would both go tumbling over the other side, and the only thing Ida and Todoroki could hear is swords clashing. Right? So, what Todoroki would do is move Ida first, get him out of the alley, and then grab the two other heroes, move them out. And then as she would walk through back to the alley, Midoriya would come crashing through the ice wall, but then would roll through, land back on his feet, and then block a knife being thrown at him. And then another, and then another, and another. And then he would clash with Stain once again. They would both be fighting for an edge. Stain would say, "You're good. There's something about you I just can't get off of my finger. I recognize your face, your hair, the sword, the way you fight. You have a no Dachi, right?" "Yeah. What about you?" "I have a katana. What else do you expect? You, we both know you have eyes. You can tell what I have." Well, he would say in the voice, his voice, "You can tell what I have." Fair enough. What's your hero name, kid? My name? My name is uh hmm. Ooh. I need to write this down. Okay, hold on. Let me go here. Uh hero name. That's not how you spell name. Name and the two dots and then the element hero environment. See, I really don't want to call him the avatar, but I really want to call him the avatar at the same time. See, environment or avatar. I feel it makes sense to just go avatar, right? Yeah, yeah. It's 40 minutes, so we won't get into the next one. Anyways, so as Izuku would say his name, I'm the element hero, Avatar. Well then, Avatar, you're a good hero in my eyes. Well, so far. But I know who your dad is. We used to train with each other in a dojo that his father owned. Your dad is Hayashi Midoriya. Well, what? How do you know that? Well, you just explained how you know that. But how do you know that? This would be still within them just trying to. They would be like pushing each other back, and but then getting back into a hold in a like a struggle. Well, like I said, me and your dad used to train with each other. He used in a Naidachi. No Dachi. Naidachi. It's the same thing. Odachi, whatever. He used a sword just like yours, just different design. Well, I stuck to my blade. He went on just to train with it because of his family's tradition. Well, I went to use mine to better this world, getting rid of villains. And then two vigilantes, well, I think there were three, I don't remember. Three vigilantes stopped me and made me realize that heroes are corrupt as well. It started 5 long years ago. Those guys weren't really the best type. I moved here to take care of business. Because of Hero Ingenium. But anyways, I already took care of him and his little bro. So I guess you're next, and then that kid behind you. And then I'll take care of the rest of the heroes. Izuku would then say, well, you gotta get through me first. As he would use Licton, the lightning part of his quirk, to put it onto his sword. It would go through Stain's sword, shocking him. You could see the spike in pain from him. He would flinch. That would give Izuku enough time to get the upper hand and make Stain go on defense while he would go on offense, and his offense was high octane. He would he would be throwing uh slashes of he would extend his blade even longer with his quirk, the silver part, right? Or steel or iron, right? He would extend his blade and then he would actually cut Stain on the shoulder. Then Izuku would get his blade pushed back, but then he would set back the same range or length as before, as he would bring it back to his side, his arms back, both arms back to his body. And then he would say, Flare Thrust! As he would bring it back, he would bring it back out in a thrust type of way where he would uh, fire would come off of it. This isn't the beam. This is just him. Flare thrust. Boom. The flames would, off of the blade, would extend from his blade all the way through to Stain. Right? It would hit Stain, send him flying, hitting to the back of the alley. He would fall, but then crouch, as he would say, You're good. You're real good. You're so fun. Too bad. You're too slow. What? As he would eventually feel the blade through his back, through his gut, and it would be out his back. Izuku would look down and then look up and then notice Stain's blade is gone and is now in his stomach and throughout his back. Todoroki would say, Midoriya! As Izuku would cough up blood, and he would say, I'm fine. Didn't hit any lung. He just went through my stomach. That's it. It wouldn't be the first time this happened either. You must know something about my dad, Stain. You knew him, so you must know how much he is disciplined in the way of the sword. The way he is. Yeah, your dad's a piece of shit. And then you could probably guess where I got all these scars, huh? Huh? As Izuku would stab his blade into the ground, then he would take off the the shoulders of his kimono. He would let it drop to his side. I got wait, that was Stan. I got these from my old man. All of them. He never really cared to hurt me. Alright? This one on the opposite side, he would bring his finger and hover above a, a, a blade wound, like a stab wound. He's done this to me. See this? The only thing different between yours and his is that he cauterized mine as he exited, pulled out his blade. Yours is, I'll have to cauterize that myself. And plus, you did it because you wanted my blood. He was teaching me a lesson. And the way I took that was that he wanted to hurt me. He was not a good man. He's still not a good man. That's why I never go back. Never have, never will. I don't care what happens to either of those two. I'm tired of them. That woman of his isn't even my real mother. She just acts like it. My mother has been dead for 10 years and 5 months. I don't know. I forget when I said its mom died. All right. So all in this here and now. He would see Stain begin to stand up and be ready to run at him. But Izuku was planning on this. Because he would bring his blade to the air with one arm as he would say, "Full air!" Crap. I'm trying to think of the name, sorry. Ooh, I got a name. He would say, "Charred, falling leaves!" As he would slash multiple of the same beams as he was shooting would fire out of his blade, just hitting Stain as he would run, the shoulder, a pec, the man boob, his leg, his arm, his left arm, left leg, right calf, square in the middle of his face would be charred. Izuku would again, "Charred, falling leaves," as he would slice again, slash again, whatever. He would okay. This finally bringing Stain down, as Izuku would say, "Well, big talk for a man who just got beat by a student." Oh, as he would pull the blade out and throw it to the ground. He would light his. – He would he would turn back to Todoroki and say, "Hey, I need to cauterize. I need you to cauterize or something. I need you to do something on my back. He would turn around. Todoroki would see the the hole in his body and the back of it, and then he would cauterize the back side. He would Izuku would cauterize the front side of the wound. Izuku would be screaming in pain, and then finally, Endeavor would show up, and Gran Torino with Machi that just Gran Torino would be there. Yeah. No, he would be with the new offer one for all guy. Let's have that be. Man, a lot of people don't give one for all to like a lot of people don't give it to crap. I'm gonna say screw it and just give it to Melissa because she's quirkless. I was gonna originally give it to Kirishima, right? But then I realized I want him to live long. You get my point? Because like one for all users who already have a quirk die really early. Like the fourth user died when he was like 40, and the others were well died to one for all for one, right? So yeah, that's my reasoning. Melissa would show up, right? She would be in their class. I just have no. Melissa doesn't make sense because she's in America in this. Damn it! You know what? Mirio has it. I don't care at this point. Just give it to Mirio. Okay. That's what my main thing to do is. The only reason I'm not giving, I really want to give it to Melissa though. I'm gonna give it to Melissa. Melissa's there. She was slow. She held the Gran Torino. Okay, she was helping take out the Nomu. That's why she wasn't there. Oh, I just didn't. Oh yeah, the sports festival and the other other arcs. I just didn't go over it. I didn't. I don't know what I'm doing now. I'm turning this into a shit show. Okay, I'm gonna leave this up to you all, even though none of you ever comment except for WVid. Uh, I want you all to comment down either Mirio or Melissa, okay? Because I'm leaning towards Melissa but the only issue that is that I haven't made her like known at all in within this what if, like at all, right? You got my point. But I'll figure out a way to bring her into this after uh if you all decide to vote. I'll bring her in somehow. Okay. Like there's things I could do, but the other arcs, like the ones previous to this, uh I don't know. But either way, either Mario or Melissa will have it. They arrest Stain. They get the heroes, well, Izuku, even though he already cauterized it. Huh. They would arrest Stain. But before he would into the car, well, he would already be in the car, but a Nomu would be flying down behind Midoriya, I don't know what a cauterized wound does. Like I know it like sort of seals it, it just like stops it from bleeding. I know that's how that works. But I don't know how long it stays. Probably not long, to be blatantly honest. I don't know. But anyways, so yeah, they would. Stain would throw the knife at the Nomu, taking it out then and there. Stain would say before leaving, "Avatar, become a great hero." Okay. Izuku would nod as the car would drive away, and then they would get him to the hospital. And yes, that's where I'm going to end it here for today, folks. Thank you all for watching. I hope to see y'all next time. Follow me on socials. Like, comment, subscribe. All the YouTube things that I just said, do that, please. And, yeah. I hope to see y'all next time. Roll the dice. Bye bye.